Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Virgo. We're going to pull two cards from the Slavics Legend Tarot deck, and that's going to represent the energy that is currently surrounding you. What we see on the bottom of that deck is going to represent your general energy. We're then going to pull 9 cards from the Surrealist Tarot deck, and we're going to turn those over little by little to see what story or message unfolds. What we see on the bottom of that deck is going to represent the general theme of this reading. And once we get an idea of what messages are coming through, we're going to pull one card from the shadow deck to see what is in your subconscious, and what we see on the bottom of that deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so we are channeling the energy of the sign of Virgo today. So if that is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or however else you choose to identify with the energy of the sign of Virgo today, you can use that as a way to help you interpret the messages that are coming through. And as always, if any of the details don't fit, leave them behind. Take what fits, leave what doesn't. Never try to force anything. You can always check your other placements, or you can just stick around and see what's going on in the world of other Virgos. So what messages can we receive today for the sign of Virgo? What things should we meditate upon? What things can we think about? What warnings perhaps should we be aware of? Or what things can we look forward to? Let's just see what messages we can receive today for those who are trying to tap into and channel the energy of the sign of Virgo. So what is going on around you today? Those Virgos out there, let's see what is happening in your world. Okay. So we're going to pull 2 cards from this deck here. 1, 2. And your general energy is the High Priestess. So tapping into that intuitive energy, listening to that quiet voice inside you that doesn't speak through words, but speaks through intuitive feelings that seem to almost naturally guide you towards whatever it is that is going to be for your best interest. So, very nice place to be. 7 of Cups and the Hierophant are surrounding you. So as you're listening to your inner voice, your inner intuition that is guiding you and propelling you forward, you need to be aware of deceptions that might be in your environment. Things that look good but are really just distractions from achieving your goals or becoming the highest version of yourself. And perhaps some of these may even take on the voice of experts that are trying to tell you this is the way to achieve what you want to achieve, and perhaps they're some of which may be good guidance, but some of which may actually be things that are distracting and keeping you from whatever you are trying to accomplish. So listen to that quiet voice. Make sure that's what's guiding you. Trust the instinct of those who are wise, the people who have experience that can provide for you actual, structural paths to follow, but make sure that those are paths that are leading you in the right direction. Don't let them be things that are distracting you. So you might be surrounded by it could be a sense that you might have teachers around you that are trying to teach you some sort of spiritual path or some sort of, just maybe something educational. Just make sure that the guidance that they are bringing in is actually things that are propelling you in the correct direction and not leading you astray. So, all right. So that is a pretty nice place to start so far, but let's get a little context on where all of this is going. So we're going to pull 9 cards from this Surrealist Tarot deck. This is my newest deck, and I am really enjoying it so far. Still getting the hang of reading with it. It is a different vibe for sure from most of the decks I'm used to using, but, just trying to challenge myself and see if better, more clear, or maybe just different messages are coming through as I use this new style of deck. And again, so far I'm enjoying it, but still getting the swing of things. It is definitely a different feel from what I'm used to. Maybe that's what you need to do, though. Maybe that's what the High Priestess is guiding you to do, is to challenge yourself. challenge conventions, maybe that's why the Hierophant is here. Perhaps you need to really look closely and make sure that the paths that have been trodden before you are the paths that are right for you. Stretch yourself out and see if you can find new ways to improve yourself or become better versions of yourself by really testing the integrity of the things that are being presented to you. Okay, so that feels pretty good. Let's pull 9 cards. Okay, and the theme of this reading is the Strength card. Right, so yeah, I think you are listening to this voice to help you come into your power, and you want to make sure that the things that you are following are the things that lead you to maintain or obtain that strength that you have. Notice with the Strength card, there is a certain bit of imagery here of you have this strong, powerful woman who is really channeling all of this energy, this commanding, almost chaotic, wild, forest-like energy, and then there's this person down here who is very sort of almost, he has a bit of a beast-like quality to him. He's just sort of, maybe he is the more, they both have a bit of a primal side to them, too. But I think the idea here with this card is that they're really supposed to be two sides of the same person. There's this open flowing, sort of almost lustful kind of energy, as we see the Lust card in the Thoth deck. That's really sort of thriving inside of this person here. And so perhaps the strength that you need to channel is all of these different sides to yourself: the feminine, the masculine, the wild, the tame, the creative, and perhaps the more structured and mundane and grounded version of yourself. Your strength comes from pulling all of that together and becoming one with this energy, so you can, really move forward and take charge and attack any kind of task that is being presented to you. So that's what we want to lead ourselves to, and I think that's what the High Priestess is trying to help us become in touch with, is that side of ourselves. So let's see what we get. Let's see what's happening here. So we have the Nine of Cups is a great place to start. That's joy. That's happiness. But with this particular deck, I see the Nine of Cups having an almost bit of a negative sort of quality to it that's not as apparent in other versions of this card. I almost feel like this version of the card gives us a little bit of distraction through pleasure. It's almost as if, all of the people in this card are in a joyful state of bliss that almost makes it to where that's all there is just the joy that they are pursuing. So as you are trying to find your strength and come into this power, you want to be guided towards the Nine of Cups pleasure that is often associated with this typically very happy card. But make sure that that's not just the end goal. That's not the only thing we want to achieve. We want to make sure that we're moving towards things that are making us happy and bringing us pleasure and joy. But don't let that be all there is. There is this balance that needs to occur if we're really going to be in our most powerful strength that comes from moving towards this, but not letting it control us. We need to be in control of that power and then harness that. And some of that perhaps has to come from a little bit of an intuitive sort of check on ourselves. Listen to when it feels like you've had enough or you've gone enough in a certain direction, and learn to trust that so you can guide your powerful. It's like you want to have this sort of runaway train kind of energy, but you want to make sure that you're able to still sort of loosely navigate that train into the correct direction. Okay? So don't let yourself be distracted by following passions that are perhaps going to lead you astray. And maybe here this is almost then in contrast to the Hierophant's more austere, sort of, a bit of a more, what's the word I want to use? You want to make sure that you're living a sort of almost, You want to make sure that you're not overindulging, that you are really staying sort of, and I'm feeling like almost a temperance sort of vibe from the Hierophant here, and saying, hey, you need to do the things that are healthy and good for you, and not get distracted by your pleasures. Follow them, let them be the force that guides you, but don't let them be the only thing that guides you. So here we have a Six of Pentacles and a Seven of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. So we have a 6 to a 7. 6 is typically in each of the suits a very positive card. So with the Six of Pentacles, this is, you actually see here in this card an actual little ship coming in to sort of help provide for these people, to provide them benefits that are going to allow them to grow. But again, you don't want to be almost in a sort of slave-like relationship to these things that are coming in. So follow your Nine of Cups positive energy. It will bring you joy, but don't let it be an imbalanced joy. Don't let the positive earthly pleasures be something that keeps you from being able to achieve more higher, more what's the word I want to say? Don't let your higher goals be stifled by more earthly pleasures. Let them guide you. Don't completely reject these things, but don't let them be what takes away your energy. Because if you do, that could take you to what we see here in the Seven of Pentacles, where we see this person who's putting all of this energy into trying to move in a certain direction, to do something, whatever that thing is for you, and is actually sort of missing out on the fruits of all of those labors. You want to make sure that what you're putting your time and energy in is going to be something that's really going to pay off. And with the Seven of Pentacles, that may not be the case. You may find that you're putting a lot of energy and work into something that is positive for you, but maybe not going to pay off in the way that you're hoping it will. So be aware of that. Let your strength fuel you. Let earthly joys be things that push you in directions that are positive, but trust your intuition when you realize that you've had enough and it's time to move on to something different. So that's the energy I'm getting here so far. Let's see what else we get. So we have an Eight of Pentacles and a Queen of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles here, a lot of earth energy. So again, I think this is about tapping into your earthly strength and letting it fuel your ability to do more higher spiritual work, but not at the detriment of being able to achieve that work. With the Eight of Pentacles, so really interesting. We've gone from 6, 7 to 8. We're really climbing our way up the pentacles here, getting more grounded, more in our physical world. So when we move from the 7 to the 8, now with the Eight of Pentacles, this is still a card of putting in a lot of work, but now it feels a little bit more sort of focused. It is detail oriented. It is taking the time to make sure that you're doing something correct, and following a path that perhaps other people aren't able to see. Perhaps as you're tapping into your High Priestess energy, that is what's going to allow you to continue to get more grounded in your physical self and your physical reality, and this earthly vessel that we're all living in, and learning to do so in a more constructive way, taking the time to work on yourself and become perhaps closer to whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And with the Queen of Pentacles here, this feels to me like you are perhaps going to have some level of guidance from other people who are in the same path or who have already pursued this before. This is giving me, with the Hierophant energy, a level of some sort of like teacher, some sort of guide. But with the Queen of Pentacles, this guide is perhaps manifesting as a very earthly figure who knows how to have a good time, knows how to enjoy things, but has the balance and the knowledge to be able to not only avoid overindulgence themselves, but to perhaps grow from spreading their abundance to other people around them. So perhaps that's what's going to help you move away from getting too stuck in your personal joys and pleasures and not letting them become vices, but instead, again, helping you become the strength that you want to become by being able to learn from their lessons and to take from them maybe not even just the information but the actual abundance that they can provide to help you open up new avenues in your life. So again, make sure that you're double checking everything. Make sure that you're not getting deceived by things that look good that are really perhaps distractions. Listen to people who have been there, who know what's going on. So now, in the center of all of this, what do we have? The Six of Wands. So we get some fire energy now. So when we have all of this earth energy and we bring a little bit of fire into it, this is when you really start to create things in your world. With the earthly energy, you've got something to build from, but you need a passion, you need an idea to put into that form. So perhaps the idea is as we're tapping more and more into our physical, grounded selves, now with the Six of Wands, we can really take things up to the next level with some sort of inspirational victory over perhaps maintaining some level of control without stifling all of this earth energy. We've got the ability to indulge properly in the life that we are a part of, and we're able to, how do I say, we're able to sort of show off to others just how much of a good time that we can bring to other people. I mean, perhaps the Queen of Pentacles is an energy you are trying to embody yourself. And so, as you get a little bit more in control of the things that you enjoy and don't let them control you, you can share them with other people, and then you can almost come into town victorious and show off to people, look how beautiful life can be, look how great of a person you can be if you don't reject your physical self but learn to control it, tap into it, and become victorious over the things that bring you joy without letting them control you. Okay, now we have a Five of Swords and a Nine of Wands. Okay. So with a Nine of Wands here, this is going to be some sort of final leg of some kind of quest that we are trying to overcome. With the Five of Swords, this is an energy of some sort of conflict, likely mental. So perhaps as you get a little bit more grounded in yourself and you're able to sort of channel that and walk around in your power and your strength, I see the Six of Wands here. If you actually be finally able to tap into your strength here, perhaps that is going to then bring you to a place where there is going to be some level of conflict, possibly even maybe you're going to be around people who are going to question what you do, and they're going to maybe look down on the sort of lifestyle that you're living, and you're going to need to sort of work with not letting other people's opinions of you bring you out of this positive victory that you've achieved. I see this as possibly being a situation of you coming into your strength and other people perhaps being jealous and wanting to take you down. I don't see that as happening. I see you as attracting this kind of energy and people wanting to really take from you the power you've achieved by mentally making you feel smaller. But as you're channeling this victorious, strong, creative power that you're tapping into by being more grounded in yourself, that's just going to keep expanding. And it's going to keep growing. And as long as you're keeping control and not letting things control you, you're going to become more and more powerful, and you're going to be able to shrug off those people that are going to come in and try to tell you that you are not good enough, that you're not strong enough, that you're not powerful enough, because you can be all of those things. They just come from putting in the work, putting in the time, making sure that you can really get into your strength by working on yourself and really, really looking at the things that possibly could be the joys that are controlling you, and not letting them put your energy in the wrong directions, making sure that as you're putting this work in, it's going in a direction that's going to help you become a better version of you. Okay. And I think, again, with you being in the High Priestess energy, I think at the end of the day, where all of this really comes to is trusting yourself and knowing yourself. I think the work that needs to be put in to make sure that you can maintain this balance, this Eight of Pentacles detail oriented craftsmanship that needs to be done, comes from listening to your understanding of yourself and looking at where you realize your strengths and weaknesses are, and really putting the time to make sure that the things that make you strong are the things that you're investing in, and not being distracted by things that take away from your energy. And so the last card we see here is the Three of Pentacles, and that is building in the physical world. So as you've come into this power, as you've gotten more in touch with yourself and the way that you inhabit this world, and then channeling your energy and your strength and becoming victorious and maintaining a balance over the things that pull you in certain directions, but not letting them pull you apart. The Three of Pentacles is then you taking a step to then start creating more in your environment from all of this power that you're pulling from within yourself, and being able to put that outward and not just be something that you feel, not just something that you live, but something that you can build and have other people see and have them become a part of it. So pretty good reading. I hope so far. I hope this message is resonating with you. I hope you're getting something out of this. It's definitely an encouraging story of making sure that you are following the things that make you strong, following the things that make you happy, following the things that really make you feel passionate and alive, but not letting those things be what sort of takes you away. Okay? Always making sure that you've got a direct connection with that sort of spiritual voice that guides you, and allow that, let that be the thing that allows you to absorb as much power of what is in your environment, without it sort of consuming you. Okay, and in order to do that, you're going to have to likely take some spiritual quality to whatever you're doing, and not just indulging in things as a pure, just don't just indulge in everything. Be receptive to everything, but make sure you're taking the time to not overdo things and listen to the guidance that other people can provide for you. And perhaps part of the solution to that is by providing for others as well as building your own strength, because there is a strength to be gained by giving to others. So far this feels really good. Let's see what we get from our shadow deck card. We're going to pull one card from this deck here. So let us see what is going on in your subconscious. Do one more good shuffle. Alright, so what is going on in your subconscious? Can we get any more clarity? I mean, this is all very outward, earthy kind of energy, so let's see what's going on in your mental realm. We just have the one sword card here, so really very little air energy, and it's kind of negative air energy. So let's see if we can get a little bit more of what's going on there possibly. King of Cups. Okay, King of Cups. So yeah, we also don't have a whole lot of water energy here. I mean, this is like almost all earth, except for the High Priestess, which is a very, very spiritual energy there. With the King of Cups, then perhaps what is actually sort of under the hood of all of this powerful earthy energy, perhaps what the High Priestess speaks through, is your emotional side. And perhaps that's also one of the keys to making sure that you're able to maintain balance as you are indulging but not overindulging in things, is to embrace your emotions without... Actually, I see this as being embracing your emotions without letting your emotions control you. So yeah, this really does feel like the sort of flip side to all of this outward empowering yourself with the earthly desires kind of energy with this internal emotional energy. Perhaps, I mean, again, perhaps really that is the key also, is there's, as things are outwardly needing to be maintained with some level of temperance, what's inside of you must also have a certain level of temperance. And so with the King of Cups, this is someone who is receptive to his emotions, and he doesn't let those emotions control him. He commands those emotions. He's sensitive, he is creative, he's open, but he is not a slave to those things that make him feel those emotions. He is the one that is in charge, steering the ship here. And if you can channel that kind of energy while also having all of this very grounded earth energy and not letting it be something that takes charge and sort of burns you alive like a flame, you can become a very powerful person. So let's see what you don't see coming. Perhaps that's what we'll see is the Six of Spheres. This is some level of... so we actually, so we have another six. Six of Spheres would be the same as the Six of Pentacles. More earth energy. But this is earth energy of some level of success coming in from some outside force. So, yeah, I'm getting a sense that what you don't see coming is perhaps some sort of financial opportunity. So perhaps as you are getting more grounded, you might find that not only are you becoming a more strong and powerful version of you, but perhaps you're going to start bringing in new opportunities of people wanting to work with you and help you continue your personal growth in the physical world by supporting you or providing for you things that you wouldn't otherwise have. So that feels pretty positive. So that's all I really think I have for you today. So I hope this was helpful. And as always, if there are messages coming through beyond what I have shared with you, please use your intuition to be able to determine how this message should best fit your situation. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. The videos are... the channel's slowly growing, so please share these videos with other people that you think might enjoy them. And if you have any comments to leave, please do so. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.